My fiance and his best friend have a really weird relationship. I have a feeling that this story is going to violently annoy me. I'm calling it now. Be forewarned. This story came May 3rd, 2015. I don't know how to approach the subject so that it doesn't sound like a rant. I've been in a steady relationship for the past 4 years. My boyfriend and I dated for about 15 months, then decided to move in together. It's been wonderful. Recently we got engaged and we are now planning the wedding. We are both very excited about it. He's a great person, basically what you would call a good guy. Very bright, super funny, has a good job, has always been caring and loyal. Kind of a dork and a nerd in some things, which I love. Oh, my neighbors. Have a good day. You too. Yeah, thank you. I would say without a doubt that he's the best guy I've ever been with. I love him and he loves me very much. My family and friends also adore him. So far, so good, right? Enter best friend Sandy. I mean, I knew it was going to be a girl. We see a lot of stories, you know, where something's going on with someone's husband or partner with their best friend or vice versa. This girl is a total nightmare. They have been best friends for like ever. Once when I met her a few years back, I knew that she was bad news. She is very attractive and knows it. Always dresses kind of slutty is the word, provocative we might say, and is a tease and a flirt. If you know the type, you can picture her. She has never been rude to me or anything like that. Why are you describing her like that then? We just keep our distance. We are polite around each other and that's about it. She's not the idiot people think she is. She has 2 kids and recently got divorced. She has always been in my fiance's life and I can't seem to understand why. I'm not naive or narrow-minded. I have male friends and I'm the kind of person that believes that a man and a woman can be great friends without sex being involved. However, the relationship they have is just too much. It's too close for comfort and everyone seems to think so. And it's been going on forever. I don't know where to begin without sounding like a crazy jealous person. The only thing that puts my mind at ease is the fact that she lives 1,000 miles away in South Florida. She's always texting him. I've checked his phone a couple of times. He doesn't mind. We are very open with each other. She is constantly telling him that she misses him and that they should see each other more often. That she wants to come up to see him, that a song reminded her of him, all sorts of stupid things with pictures, selfies, etc. Sometimes it's like a couple of 15-year-old kids and I don't make a fuss about it. The one thing that really freaks me out is when she tells him that she loves him. Love is a very strong emotion for me and he says that he loves her back. I don't like that part at all. And the fact that she's drunk dialed him a couple of times at very odd hours, even when she was married, makes me so mad. We've had a couple of strong disagreements about that over the years. I have met his family. They are very nice folks and they like me. His sister and I also get along pretty good. We have a lot in common and we've become good friends even with the distance. The first time I met her, she found out that his best friend Sandy was coming to town and she didn't look very happy. A couple of years later, after we knew each other better, I asked her why she didn't like Sandy. She told me that she never did, even when they were kids, she just didn't like her. That she was always trouble and did crazy things, and that no one in her family liked her, but since she had always been there, they kind of just tolerated her and accepted her in the household. I have asked him a couple of times straight up if they ever had some kind of physical relationship in the past, but he has always denied it. He says that they are only friends. When she was married, my fiance was the best man at her wedding at her insistence. Her now ex-husband and kids would spend time together with us, going on holidays or meeting up for special occasions. And I must admit, I got along better with her husband than I did with her. He was about 10 years our senior and always seemed oblivious about their weird relationship, or he just didn't mind. My fiance is a godparent to her youngest kid. They both call him Uncle. He adores them and they adore him back. He is great with them and also with his nephews. A couple of times, Sandy's dad or other family members have been in town and they call him and they have lunch together to just meet up. I can tell they're very fond of him and care a lot about my fiance. Last year, he flew down to Florida so that they could go to some convention because she got tickets that were hard to get. A couple months ago, I went with him to his parents' house. She showed up unannounced and they just got drunk in his parents' living room watching stupid movies while I was sleeping. We got into a huge fight because of it. His sister told me that they used to do that kind of stuff all the time and it just made me angrier. I want to know what you guys feel about all this. If this was your partner, they've been friends since childhood, whatever. Like, are you comfortable with this? Are you not comfortable with this? I feel like everyone's gonna have a different opinion on that. A couple of nights ago, we were at our place with some other friends celebrating our recent engagement and setting a date. One of his friends told me that there was something I should know, and it was about his best friend, Sandy. Like I said, I knew that this friend didn't like her one bit, so I didn't think much of it at first. She told me that she hated the fact that even though she didn't attend Florida State with them, she still managed to just show up all the time. She would stay weeks at a time in my fiance's room, and that she ruined a couple of relationships for him, going so far as to punching one of my fiance's exes because she had cheated on him. Obviously, this is all like back when they all went to Florida State together, but Sandy didn't. She just slept in your fiance's room for weeks at a time. So she was very involved in the friendship and in his friend group. The story was that they had plans to go to spring break, and since my fiance was single at that time, he took his best friend Sandy. Apparently, one morning she walked into their room and they were both naked with another couple in there as well. I asked her, naked, like both in underwear or with something covering themselves? And she said no, completely naked. She didn't see them having sex, but two girls and two guys naked in a room makes you think, oh, what the hell is going on? All of this was before I met him, and I know everyone has a past, but this really shook me. It seems very unlikely for them not to ever have hooked up or been intimate, and now with this new information, I have more doubts. We are making plans for our wedding, and to make things worse, Sandy is going to be the best man, and already she's talking about planning his bachelor party and even a trip to Vegas. Okay, that story, I'm trying to think. This all happened before you guys even met, but also what happened? Like, surely some went on, maybe a little like, woo, you know, like a four party sleepover, if you catch my drift. Luckily, we have an update because now I'm invested and I want to know what the hell happened in that room. The update came 1 month later. We're now at June 6th. I confronted my fiance calmly one night while we were out for dinner. I told him I didn't want Sandy to be the best man at our wedding. I didn't want her to plan his bachelor party, and most important, I didn't want her in our life anymore. Of course, that he could still keep in touch with his godson, but to limit all contact to that. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna go over well. It didn't go well. It's like I knew. I didn't. At first, he thought I was joking. When I told him I wasn't, he said that he couldn't believe it. He told me that he had always been truthful and honest with me from day one, that he never lied about their friendship or tried to hide anything or downplay it. That he couldn't understand after all this time why I was just bringing it up now. We argued some more. It didn't get heated. It was just an argument, and we left it like that, agreeing to nothing. The next day, I asked him what he thought about the conversation we had the night before. He said that I was overreacting and that he couldn't understand why I was being so upset about it. I told him that things were going to change if we were going to get married. He told me things shouldn't change, especially since we had been living together for some years and happily, he added. It kept going back and forth for a while. He basically dismissed it and said that I wasn't thinking straight. He jokingly called me a bridezilla, and that made me really mad. A couple of days later, I gave him an ultimatum. Ooh. I told him I didn't want Sandy as the best man, and I didn't want her in our lives anymore. My now ex-fiance, what? Has always been a calm person. I on the other hand, had been more emotional and impulsive. Clearly. He told me to think about what I was asking him. She wasn't part of our life, she was part of his life, and that indeed, sometimes lines had been crossed. Even though he didn't see it that way, he respected my point of view. However, he was willing to make some changes. No bachelor party, and he would try to ease down on the contact. But that was it. That he wasn't changing her as best man. She was his best friend, always had been, and that nothing I or anyone could say or do would change the fact. He said that I knew him and that he wasn't a kid who reacted the way I do. He pointed out that I knew he was a reasonable and understanding guy, but that this was unfair to put him in this situation. I yelled at him and I told him to choose. He didn't say anything. He slept on the couch. We didn't speak for about 2 days. It was the weekend and he told me he wanted to talk to me and I agreed. He asked me what my thoughts were. I don't know. I feel like we could have handled this a lot differently, like especially if we're about to get married. Like, communication is everything. This could have been just a conversation. Or maybe we set some new boundaries and you tell him your honest feelings about what makes you uncomfortable. Maybe we could set some new boundaries in place and start working through some of this. Okay. Anyways, I guess not. I told him I hadn't changed my mind. He asked me if I was 100% sure about it. I said I was, that my mind was set. No Sandy as his best man, no bachelor party organized by her, and no contact. He just said, okay then, it's over, call the wedding off. I almost had a heart attack. I was furious and heartbroken. I got very agitated. I told him I couldn't believe he picked her over me. He said he didn't, that he picked himself, and that if I couldn't accept him the way he was, as I had always done in the past, and couldn't trust or believe him, it was over. That he had always trusted me, and if I couldn't do the same, it wasn't worth the trouble. I yelled at him some more, and I told him I knew about the time they went on spring break together. He told me they had vacations tons of times together, and as a matter of fact, they still did, and I knew all of this. I asked him, well, what about the time that you were both naked in a room together with another couple? This is what I've been waiting for. Selfishly. He told me all I had to do was ask him and not create this drama. He said it was true that they had indeed been naked together in a room when friend X walked in. They had met a slightly older couple while on vacation the first day there, and after some drinks and some partying and spending some time together, they suggested a swap, exchanging couples. They were attractive, and he said sparks were flaring. Also, that it was during a time when they were both single, young, and they wanted to experiment. So they had sex in the same room. I told him, so you had an orgy? He said no, that it wasn't that. He had sex with the girl and Sandy had sex with the guy. But he and Sandy never had sex. I told him, so you expect me to believe you were both naked with her in the same room, in the same bed, while she had sex with a strange guy and you had with his wife and you two didn't do it? He said, exactly, that does happen in this world. Not with me, but it does happen. I told him I didn't believe him. I told him I wanted him out. He said that he would leave the next day. Before he left, he told me he loved me and that I was wrong and I was making a mistake. He told me that I knew him and that if he walked out the door, I would never see him again. I wished him well and that I wasn't changing my mind and that he had chosen her and that he was a liar. Girl, what if he's telling the truth though? What do you mean? I don't know. Listen, that's uncomfortable. That's an intimate setting to be in. Like, he saw her naked. Like, if it's happening right there, you're seeing things. But I don't know how to feel. I'm just so glad this is not my problem. He told me to keep everything and that he would come when I was at work for his things. I haven't seen him since. Those first few days were bad. I felt terrible. I spoke with my sister and she said I screwed up big time. I was still angry and I felt righteous. I am pretty stubborn. I sent Sandy terrible text messages. Girl. Telling her that she was a hooer. Girl, what? Oh, honey. Oh, God. Put the phone away. Put the phone down. And that I hoped she was happy for ruining my life. She never replied. Not one of my proudest moments. He came back while I was at work and picked up his things, and he left the key. I called him, texted him, emailed him, got no answer. I called his work, oh my God, and he told me that he was unavailable. I have had time to think about all of this, and I have been hurting badly. I think maybe I made a mistake. I think I acted impulsively and irrational. Also, I was too judgmental, and I let myself be influenced by what other people said about her. The naked thing, even though it sounds improbable, might be true, and he had never lied to me. On numerous occasions in all these years, he answered my questions, even if they were stupid and petty. I just couldn't let it go. My life has gone to hell, and I can't help but think that it was my fault, like my sister said. I made my bed. Now I have to sleep in it. I feel like this could have went down a very different way. A very different way. I feel like we might have been able to work through this, especially with putting some boundaries. He was willing to compromise. You know, he said no bachelor party, eased down on communication without cutting her off. I don't know. Something's telling me this could have gone differently, but we have updates, thank God. But first, we're hydrating. It is just plain water in my cup. However, it's hot water. Apparently, it's good for digestion. I'm giving it a try. Cheers. Not tea. Not tea. Literally just hot water. It's like cooled down a little bit now though, you know? It's very weird to me because I like my water ice cold, but so many people have said, even some doctors I've seen have said, like room temp water is a lot better for you than really cold water. And I'm like, mind your business, okay? Because I love crisp ice cold water. So this is like warm and I'm like there should be a tea bag in here. It's weird. Trying to get some work done. We got some cuckoo bonker dog over here. Oh, she loves her coffee. Oh, you love your coffee. Oh, yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. You love your coffee. Her toe, you guys have been asking about her toe. It's going down a little bit and swelling, and clearly she is not in any pain. She is fine as they can be. Nothing comes between her and her Tim Hortons coffee though. Okay, well, see, that's a computer. And I'm trying to work here. Oh, this is a little inconvenient timing, but let's play. All right, so we have an update 6 months later. December 29th, 2015. Finally, I learned, but before, I think I made things worse. Oh my God. Girl, did you go full psycho after you ended the relationship? Oh, here we go. After my last post, I went to my ex's work just to talk to him. He wasn't answering my calls or texts and he changed his number. I wanted to explain to him that I was wrong and that I had made a mistake. Also, to give him some of his things that he had left behind. It didn't go well. The moment he saw me, he walked away fast, almost running. He didn't even pretend not to see me. He just ignored me and walked in the other direction. I have now accepted the fact that we will most certainly not get back together. He literally said, if you let me walk out this door, you will never see me again. Remember? The first thing I did was apologize to Sandy. I sent her a very true and heartfelt message explaining that I was emotional and had unjustly discarded my anger towards her. I never received a reply. All the people we had in common, who I thought were my friends, are simply ignoring me and cutting me out. That was about 3 months ago. Every once in a while, I would send my fiancé ex-fiancé a text or maybe an email to see how he was doing. He never responded. He even blocked me from social media. And mostly all of our acquaintances did the same. He didn't even contact me on my birthday when in the past he gave me a great gift and flowers. Girl, you're not together. And you're calling him your fiancé and being like, you didn't wish me happy birthday? Where's my gift? Girl, what? I'm not in your life. About 2 weeks ago, I got a phone call from Sandy. I was shocked that she had called me. She said she was in town and wanted to meet up. You good? Oh, hi. Well, you drank your water a little fast there, huh? We met at a coffee shop. She started by telling me that this whole deal needed some closure. She said that he didn't know she had contacted me. She told me that I had made a mistake and that we are all human and that all of us make mistakes. But then she told me that my ex-fiancé was hurting badly. She said I had to stop trying to contact him, that it was not cool, and that it all had to end. All of it. The text messages, the emails, the phone calls, not only to him, but also to his sister, to his friends, and to her. Also that I had crossed a line when I called his parents. Oh my God. This was very innocent on my part. There really was no bad intention. Once I called them, once to see how they were doing. Oh my gosh, girl, I would not have the patience for you, I gotta be honest. I asked her if maybe she would talk to him and explain that it was my bad to put him in that position and that I just wanted to apologize. That if she really was his friend and wanted what was best for him, that maybe she could suggest that with some therapy, we could work things out. She said, there is no couples therapy. I'm here because you have to stop doing what you're doing. All of it. He's going to get a restraining order against you. She said that if I hadn't taken the clue that he didn't want to talk to me or have anything to do with me, that he has changed his phone number twice, and that she had done the same. She asked me if I thought that was the way a normal person reacted. Girl, you have not been fully honest here, all right? You have been clocking in trying to contact your ex. We sat in silence finishing our coffee. Before she left, she told me that she had tolerated me all these years despite my childishness and disrespect because for some strange reason my ex-fiancé had cared about me, that I was a grown woman and that I shouldn't scoop down so low. Then she left. No, you didn't. Girl, I swear to God. I sent one last email to my fiancé thanking him for everything. Honey, ex-fiancé. It wasn't one of my smartest moves, but I had to speak my mind. I told him that now I understood that Sandy and him were real friends. I didn't mention the fact that she had been sneaking around and had spoken to me, and that I wouldn't throw away the rest of his stuff as I knew that they were important to him, and that I would keep them in case he ever wanted them back. I apologized again for all the other messages. No I love yous, no begging him to take me back. I still had some dignity left. No weird things, just that, very simple. The next day, to my surprise, Sandy called me. She was screaming at me and saying she was going to kick my sorry ass. Honestly, I've thought about it at this point. If I didn't cut the crap and to consider myself warned. Things at work haven't been so good, as you can imagine. I started going to the gym, as someone suggested, to clear my mind. I've been thinking about going to therapy. I have been lonely and I've been feeling kind of depressed. Regarding some of the comments, no, I am not crazy. No, I am not a stalker. No, I am not delusional. Some kind souls out there understand me and have shared that my demands and ultimatum were extreme, but justified. Okay, well, let's all give our opinion. Were they justified? I agree with some things about their friendship might make someone uncomfortable and maybe some boundaries should have been put in place. By all means, I understand that. However, the ultimatum could have been a different conversation, I think, and maybe you guys couldn't have worked through it, but I think it could have gone differently. But everything afterwards, like, beyond cuckoo bonkers. Beyond. Let me know your thoughts on this one, you guys. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.